Hi, welcome to the Leadership Doctor, where we talk about all things leadership. I'm Dr. Christine Fugilier. And today I wanted to share with you an idea that I had created years ago. It's called In the Cards. And what you basically do is you take a stack of color coded index cards, and the color really doesn't have any significance unless it has it to you. Um, and you can get as many colors as you want, but I'm going to show you 7 that I came up with, and you can do more or less. And I'll give you the topics, and then I'll explain to you in more detail what this means. So my first card is called Inspirational or Inspirational Scriptures or Motivational Quotes. So the motivational quotes, scriptures are things that kind of get you inspired. If you are having a bad day, and or if you're about to go into an interview or do a presentation, sometimes it's important to have something positive to go in with. So sometimes a quote will do it. Like this one from Aristotle says, "Excellence then is not an act, but a habit." Or another one is great and gracious leaders know when to enter and when to exit. So those are just a few, and you take those with you. You have your deck. I keep mine in my purse, and it's about this. I take sample sizes because it's way too big, but sample sizes, a few of each card, and I have them in my purse. And sometimes when I need what I call a brain break, I will take a look at them. Okay. The next one is people who you identify with and or admire. Inspiration. That's what this is for. And it gives you some kind of that boost you need to know that you are not the only one going through something that is trying to achieve something. Often people think they're the only ones, but when you read other people's stories, you find out that they did it too. They probably went through more. You have to, there's something you align with that person. So my muse, I call her, has been Ursula Burns. She was an intern at Xerox and moved all the way up to the CEO. And I think that's amazing. If you ever get a chance to look at her YouTube interviews, she gives great advice and she's extremely inspirational. I think I'm sweating a little bit here, but could be on the lights. Okay, so people who you identify with or admire. Second one and the third one is different sources of income or revenue generating ideas. If the last 15 years or so have not taught us anything, it's that organizations can shift directions on a dime. And it could be for downsizing, reorganization, the economy. There's so many reasons that leave people unemployed, and sometimes that job is their only source of income. What that causes is a lot of anxiety and stress. And sometimes when you have another source of income coming in, it minimizes that anxiety and stress. So think of some ideas that you've had that you think, wow, this could be a revenue generator. It could be something like writing a book, writing a blog, creating something, or taking something that you benefit from to share with others, because typically things that are successful help solve a problem. So if you came up with a great idea that works for you, share that. And then you see how you can monetize it. And we'll have more discussions on that in a couple of episodes coming up. The next thing is your dream aspirations and goals. So I call it a dream jar. So if you have things that you want to do, and right now, life does not permit it. Life could be raising kids, taking care of a sick family member, trying to just keep the bills paid. Life is not permitting for those, but you put them aside, write them down, and put them in your what I call a dream jar. And your dream jar is, it can be something as simple as back in the day, we used to use an old pickle jar. and we would put a slit in the top, and then we put our pennies in. So instead of putting your pennies in, put in your dreams, your aspirations, your goals. And they don't have to be really huge. It can be something as simple as I want to learn how to ride a bike. And I learned when I was like 40, I was like, oh, I need to learn how to ride a bike. And you put all of these dreams, goals, and aspirations into this jar. And then as life starts to change, or things start to let up, or even sometimes just as a little bit of inspiration for yourself, you go in and you pick out some of those dreams or aspirations. Or once the kids are grown, they're out, start going in that dream jar. And you will be surprised at the things that you're able to achieve. It's almost like your bucket list, if you will. Things I want to do before I leave this earth, and you just put them in there, and some of those could turn into revenue generating ideas. See how I did that? So that's another card. Then the other one is, what are your achievements? So often people think that when you talk about all the things that you've done, you're being braggadocious. I call it positive press. And if no one ever gives you any accolades for anything else, you create your own positive press. And what I used to do with my children when they were school ages, I would have in their bedroom a wall of achievement. And when they were, like I said, they were school age, fifth grade, 4 years old and higher. So they would get little things like perfect attendance, honor roll, great science project. And they would have these certificates. So I would go to the dollar store, put the certificates into the frames, and then I would put them on their walls. And then as they started to get older, and they're like, oh my God, now I have to go to third grade. Now I have to go to fourth grade. There was a little anxiety sometimes. There were, the anxiety of the unknown. And then I would have conversations with them like, so look at all the things that you achieved. Look at their wall. See how you did great in science. Oh, you were named great reader. And that was a way to motivate them and also for them to see that they've done it before. They've done things and achieved things before. Same thing applies to us as adults. You can have a wall in your bedroom, you can have a wall in your office, or you can have a whole office of your achievements. That's just reminders that you have done this before. And when you're about to embark on a new goal or a new adventure in your life and you feel that anxiety set in, you just look around you. You go, okay, I got this. And that's what the wall of achievement is for. And sometimes we don't get enough of great job. I appreciate you. And sometimes you have to say it to yourself, and that's where the positive press comes in. So wall of achievement. And then failures. Your failures. Failures to me are proof of life. Everything that we do coming out of the gate is not always successful. So we have failure to kind of let us know that wasn't the right way to do it, but there may be another way, or try it again, or keep trying it. Could you imagine if Michael Jordan had given up as many times? If Michael Jordan had given up the first few times he failed, right? Could you imagine, right? Could you imagine what Denzel Washington would have done if he had given up? Could you imagine what people like Steve Jobs would have done when his biggest failure, and sometimes the failure is so public, you're like, oh my God, I don't think I'll ever do that again. Could you imagine if these people of greatness have given up because they failed, they didn't do so well? It's proof of life. It's okay. Failure is a good thing because failure gives you the ability to try again and learn from what you did before. Or learn that maybe you don't want to do that particular thing again. Maybe you'll try something else. But it gives you a way to grow. So it's not a negative thing. So these are what I call in the cards. So you get all the cards together and you have your deck. Like this is mine. Again, this is a sample size of mine. And then you can just, sometimes you just go through them. And sometimes I use it as when I am usually about to present, I look through the cards for inspiration. I say, what's in the cards? That's in the cards. And I go, wow, okay. Become a woman of power. Okay, great. So that's what the premise of this exercise is for, and it also help you start to develop yourself as a leader going forward. One of the other things out of all this, and I think it may fall in what are your achievements? Because I recall asking one of my clients, she was moving into her office, and I said, put up some of her credentialing. And she said, well, I don't really have any achievements. And I said, well, do you want to get some? Right? So it could be a way to kind of motivate you to get some or do some different things. And I say that story to say, um, when we think about our achievements, our dreams, our goals, our inspirations, people that we admire, sources of income, all of these cards, at the end of the day, this is our life's journey. This is what we call our life's journey. And we go back to them to say, what's in the cards? What does the cards tell me? The cards tell me that I have all of these things. I've done all of these things, and I can continue to do these or do better. So that's where I pull a lot of inspiration from. I hope this was helpful for you all. And if you have questions, please drop them in the comments. I look forward to having more conversations with you all. Remember, we are here to make leadership great again.